وبركاته.
Some officials in Israel have reportedly argued that it's not in Israel's interest to even have a Palestinian Authority. Prime Minister Netanyahu made clear he does not wish for the collapse of the PA because despite serious differences with Abu Mazen, he recognizes that the alternative could be worse. Nobody can tell you what the alternative is in a world buzzing with Daesh and Jihad and Hamas. Some have dismissed this possibility. But circumstances, I believe, force us to consider it seriously because there are valid questions as to how long the PA will survive if the current situation continues. Mark my words. Remember, there are some 30,000 Palestinian Authority security forces in the West Bank, and Israel security officials acknowledge their key role in preventing the situation from spiraling out of control, including, by the way, during the turmoil of 3 wars with Gaza. Didn't blow up in the West Bank. Without the PA security forces, the IDF could be forced to deploy tens of thousands of soldiers to the West Bank indefinitely to fill the void. Are Israelis prepared for the consequences this would have for their children and grandchildren who serve in the IDF when the inevitable friction leads to confrontation and violence? What are the financial and strategic costs when Israel is now already facing new threats in the region? Are Israelis ready to accept the heightened risk that chaos, lawlessness, and desperation can allow terrorists and extremists to take hold of and fill the vacuum and take advantage of? So, my friends, that again brings us to a broader question. If the two-state solution is the only real option, what more can actually be done to advance it? Now, these are important questions for all of us who care deeply about Israel. And I do care deeply. I had a 100% voting record over 28 plus years, and I remember fondly every visit I've ever made over there, and I have great friends. Great friends. We will be there every step of the way in every way possible to support them in that effort. We're ready to bring Jordan, Egypt, the rest of the Gulf states, others to the table for a regional security arrangement that includes Israel, that will make the entire region safer. And I know that many in the region are absolutely committed to recognizing Israel in the way that Israel wants to be recognized and to move forward, to send embassies, to open relations, to begin to make the region a financial hub and an agricultural and technology hub for the world. And they are waiting to help realize the Arab Peace Initiative's vision of a true peace between Israel and the Arab world and greater security for all.
What would you want to see Abu Mazen do?
Well, Abu Mazen needs to change the rhetoric above all. He made some very incendiary comments, which I called him on. I was very direct with him about the Al-Aqsa Mosque, and there were some very insightful, comments made. I think one of the problems is Abu Mazen now doesn't control some of the people. He doesn't control an Arab Israeli who runs around with a pair of scissors or grabs a knife. In fact, nobody, to some degree, controls that now. That's social media driven, and it's a reflection of some of the challenge we face in fighting Daesh, in what is happening in terms of the radicalization of unemployed, youthful populations that have no sense of future. So the issue here is, can the Palestinians work to deal with a transition in their own governance, which has to improve? There are levels of some corruption and challenges within the PA that have to be taken on. There are, in addition, textbooks, education, maps, things like that. A lot of things that could begin to change that would reflect to Israel that, in fact, the Palestinians are working sincerely.